Do you want to be financially free? Well, close your eyes for just a minute and think, what would life be like if I didn't have to worry about money? Most people avoid looking at their finances because they're afraid of what they might find. But you clicked on this video, and that already makes you different. Before we get started, go ahead and subscribe to the Askesis Mindset channel. We have a ton of free resources coming out to help you on your journey towards financial freedom. Today, I'm going to walk you through a tutorial on confronting your reality from start to finish. In the video description below, you'll find a link to the Google Sheet. Let's get started.
Couple things. Number one, this is available both as a PDF if you prefer doing this on paper or online. If you go to the Askesis Mindset website under self-training and scroll down, you will see this worksheet right here, and you can download it also as a paper copy. If you are choosing to use the online version, which we're going to go through together today, you'll want to open the file, which is located in the video description below, and go ahead and make yourself a copy, and then you can begin. Real quick, before you begin, as soon as you open up the Google Sheet, you're going to see a Confronting Your Reality introduction page. This is mainly for those who are self-directed, but I just wanted to take the time to review this really quick just to save you some time. This worksheet here in particular is not going to help you adopt the Askesis mindset. It is simply going to give you a starting point so that you can begin working on your finances. It is also a very beginner level worksheet. If you have a really good idea of your finances and you know every account that your money is going in and out of, what's going on with your budget, I would really recommend starting on the minimalist budget builder, which is the next video in this series, rather than this one. This is really a ground zero of if you're confused, you're not sure what to do, where to start with your financial path, this is a great way to just get everything out there in the open. So what we're going to do on this sheet is we're just going to identify where's your money coming and going, and we're going to get an honest financial inventory. We're also not going to worry about stress today because we're not talking about numbers. We're just naming everything. Once you have just briefly looked this over, you can really delete this sheet if you'd like. And let's get started. So the first column here is your debt. You're going to list everything that you actively owe to a person or a business. So some examples can include your mortgage, car loans, student loans, any medical debt, any family or friends that you owe money to. All of those should be named. So for example, you have a Chase credit card debt. So if it's not paid off every single month, you're just going to list Chase credit card and then move on to the income. If you'd like, you can pause the video here while you fill that out, and we're going to continue on. The next category is going to be income. This should be any active income. We're talking about things that you're currently or could tomorrow make money from. I don't want a part-time job that you had 2 months ago. Anything that you're currently doing to make money. So a job, if you rent a room in your house out, if you have a social security check that comes in, any side hustles, second jobs, anything goes in the income column. And again, you're just going to want to name that income. We don't need to worry about numbers or anything. You can go ahead and again pause the video here if you'd like to fill out the income. And we're going to continue on to assets. So assets are anything, we're going to define those as anything over $1,000 in value. So it could be a car. So for example, if you owe $15,000 on your car, but it's worth $25,000, that's an asset. Anything that is not worth more than you owe on it is not an asset. That should be listed under your debts. Also, something can be an asset and also be included on your debt sheet. So for example, your house. If you owe $300,000 on your house and it's worth 400,000, or you owe 100,000 and it's worth 200,000. Go ahead and list that both as a debt and an asset. Also under assets are all of your accounts, any apps, currencies, doesn't matter what it is, checking, savings, CD, bonds, taxable, non-taxable brokerage accounts, all those go under assets. And again, you will list those by name. You can go ahead and pause the video here while you fill out your assets. And we will continue on. If you scroll down, we're going to just confront a couple essentials here. The first is your exit point. So where does money move, or where do you pay bills from? So these could be also listed under your assets, but how are you paying your bills? Is it coming out of a checking account, savings account, investment, retirement, gift cards? It doesn't really matter. Where's your money coming from to pay bills? And again, this is important because we're just going to start identifying how money is moving in your life so that we can get an accurate financial picture. So you can go ahead and pause the video here while you fill out your exit points. The next thing that we're going to talk about is your recurring obligations. So those are things that happen every single month. So it could be either discretionary or something that you have to pay for. So for example, your utility bill, you probably need to live with electricity. Whereas Netflix, Spotify, you could live without it. But we're going to list everything here equally. So if your electric company is Florida Power and Light, that's who we would put. We would list Netflix, Spotify, and go ahead on down the line. Every single obligation should be listed separately, and those hopefully don't take up more space than that's on the sheet, or else we've already identified some things that could probably be cut out of your expenses. We're going to go ahead and pause the video here, fill out those recurring obligations. And finally, before we get to the last section, you're going to fill out your financial influences. These are external forces that shape your decisions. So anyone other than yourself, could be a person or a thing. Why do you spend money? So who influences your finances other than yourself? So it could be family, advertising, work. Maybe you're a teacher, you provide your own supplies for work. Who is financially influencing you other than yourself? So go ahead and pause the video and get that filled out. And finally, there's two kind of checkups down here at the bottom that we're going to fill out before we wrap up this Confronting Your Reality worksheet. The first is your avoidance zones. Just go through each one of these and put a check mark if it applies to you. And then finally, on the other side, your default money identity. And again, you can have multiple identities here. That's okay. We welcome everyone. But if it applies to you, so you have avoider, hustler, saver, spender, put a check mark. You can go ahead and pause the video here if you want time to fill this out. And let's just review this worksheet. So first off, congratulations. You've gotten your entire financial life written down on one sheet of paper. So everything that might have been overwhelming or stressful or unknown before is now all out in the open. What I'd like you to do with this sheet is just begin a reflection. Take a look at where are your debts, okay? And you can go through those debts one by one. What is a good debt and what is a bad debt? So when I say good debt and bad debt, I mean specifically interest rate and type of asset. So, for example, a home over time should appreciate or has typically appreciated in value. So that is a appreciating asset. Your vehicle is a depreciating asset. So it over time it is simply going to lose money and most likely cost more to maintain the older it gets. So look at those debts. Obviously, credit card, consumer debt is the worst possible debt. So you can color code this sheet however you like. I really want you to highlight anything with an interest rate over 6 or 7% because that starts to get into a zone where the debt is simply unproductive. Next, on your income, I want you to start thinking about how efficient this income is. Are you spending the most time on the things that you could make the most money from? On this particular worksheet, we're not going to really take a deep dive into that, but I really want you to subscribe to the channel and look out for the next upcoming videos on the minimalist budget builder because we're really going to dive in and talk about income and how you can use your time more efficiently to make more money. Next are your assets. That kind of it is what it is. Obviously, we want to grow assets over time, and we have a monthly net worth tracker that you can use to do that, which will have an associated video coming out. Your exit points, I just want you to think about that in the sense of, what is automated? What is automatically coming out of your life every single month that you don't even see? Because we want to know where every single dollar is going. We want to track it. We want to make sure that it's being productive. And more importantly, we want to make sure that you're using it. So are you utilizing all of the services that you're paying for? And again, we really dive into that on the minimalist budget builder and start to peel back those layers and question every single expense. This sheet is just meant to get you to start thinking, start taking the stress and the unknown away from your financial situation. Next is the recurring obligations. You can go through these right now and start thinking about, okay, what do I really need and what is considered unnecessary or what could be consolidated. Next are your financial influences. I don't want to call these excuses, but I want you to look at it that way because you need to be in control of your financial life. To live intentionally and follow the Askesis mindset, you're in the driver's seat. No one else is going to be telling you what to do, and you're going to be the one directing all of your finances in every particular way in your life. Now, if you're, married, you have a partner, obviously that's going to be done together and we have some resources to help you be able to do that, but overall you are in charge of your financial life and it is up to you to make decisions that give you freedom in the future, hopefully sooner rather than later. And finally, your avoidance zones, these are more excuses. So look at how many things that you have checked off. And we want to eliminate excuses as much as possible. The Askesis mindset doesn't acknowledge an excuse. We pay no attention or give any credibility to excuses. So we need to find solutions to these issues other than, just defaulting to, well, this is how I am or this is how it is. Finally, your default money identity. This is to just, again, it's another thing to get you thinking about who am I and who do I want to be? So if you went through this list and said, okay, this is how I am right now, what would it look like if I was the ideal version of myself? So what things could you change to get from where you are now to your ideal version of who you want to be? I hope that this worksheet has brought you some peace in your mind that, okay, money is stressful and it's confusing, and maybe it's something that I haven't tackled or put enough effort into figuring out, but I've started. So again, I'm super proud of you for, just taking the time to do this and caring about your financial future. And also, this is step number one. The race is far from over. If you could, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. The Minimalist Budget Builder should be the next video that you watch in this series, and I'll put a link to that in the video description below. And make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.